All right, we're going to resume the recording now. Now, my style is naturally very participatory. So I'm going to ask questions of you folks. Is there anyone that already knows they do not want me to ask you a question on camera? If you don't want me to ask you questions where you have to answer on the recording, just raise your hand if you already know you do not want me to ask you questions. I'm looking right now to see who to call on first. Okay, cool. No one fell for it. Okay. Because somebody will always fall for it. Not today. Dang. Well, some of you guys know my face, and by show of hands, I'm looking at you now. How many here have either heard me speak before or this is your first time? Can I see your hands if that's you? You've either heard me before or this is your first time. Now, you see, it should be all of you because you all have heard me before or this is your first time. You're going to have to be ready because I'm going to come at you like that. This is going to be the first time for some of you guys. Let's just do it. Is this the first time you've heard Brother Brian speak? Raise your hand, please. Okay, a lot of you guys. Okay, good. All right. You're going to find, I promise up front, every one of you guys will be better at selling yourself and your services by the time this segment is done than you were before when we started. This is not what I hope to accomplish. This is what I know will be true. And you're going to find this time that we spend together, it's going to be about 60 minutes, but it's going to feel like it went by very, very fast. I understand one or two of you have to leave early, and that's fine if you do. But the ones that stay get more stuff. Okay, it's going to feel like it went very fast. So why should you listen to me? Because for the last 29 years, I've been helping people to sell themselves and their services better. I'm the recognized authority on selling services. I have written 4 amazing books on how to sell. I wrote the book, The Shortcut, the fastest route to selling your services better than you ever had before so you can earn more money than ever before. Only 74 pages long. You do what that book says do, you'll get more clients within 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of cake, very little frosting. But it doesn't cover how to overcome objections. I wrote the book, Asking for the Money, how anyone can close more sales, even you. 94 pages, teaches you what to do before you ask for the money. What do you do when you ask for the money? What do you do when there's a little bit of resistance? What do you do if there's a lot of resistance? And I also wrote the Not Just for Children's book, Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople, running a wonderful parallel between rhinoceroses and great entrepreneurs. And I also have a couple of workbooks out there. But besides that, I've got hundreds of testimonials from people, hundreds literally, and thousands of people have been positively impacted by my workshops. You will be some of them as well. Let's keep it moving. This workshop today is specifically for attorneys, accountants, CPAs, and bookkeepers. You guys have a common challenge. It's a couple of common challenges. One of the common challenges, because of your professions, a lot of attorneys, accountants, CPAs, and bookkeepers don't believe they have to sell. They act like they don't have to sell. Just because I'm an attorney, just because I'm a CPA, business should come to me. And it doesn't work like that. The other challenge is because you're dealing with numbers and dealing with logic so often. Two salespeople in a jewelry store. One of the salespeople in the jewelry store knows all about cut, clarity, and carat. He knows all the difference between Egyptian diamonds, and he knows all about these type of diamonds and where these diamonds are. They work in the same diamond store, and he's very, very proud of his knowledge of diamonds. When customers come in, he really likes to show off all he knows about diamonds and explains to them the different things about diamonds. And he gets outsold every month by his coworker who doesn't know nearly as much as he does. The coworker doesn't know as much, but the coworker loves diamonds. And he sells it as if he loves diamonds. And he outsells his coworker every single month. Okay? There's a difference when people are going to buy from you or hire you for either emotional reasons or for logical reasons. Emotional reasons are the way they imagine they're going to feel after they work with you. Logical reasons are because it's smart and it makes sense and it's a good deal. Emotion has to deal with the heart and the feelings. Logic has to deal with the brain. I'm just going to tell you up front in this interest of saving time. People will buy much faster for emotional reasons. They will hire much faster for emotional reasons than for logical reasons. They will hire and buy 9 times faster for emotional reasons than for logical reasons. People buy what they want way faster than what they need. People don't buy the benzo because it has good brakes. They buy the benzo because very often it's an ego rub. Does that make sense to anybody? Now, your head nod, thumbs up if that makes any sense. So today you're going to learn how to sell yourself and your services. And you're going to hear me say that phrase a lot. If I buy Miss Pat Taylor, I can only get Pat Taylor from Pat Taylor. Let me just tell you guys this. You don't compete with other companies in your industry. You don't compete with other companies. You don't compete with other people in your industry. You compete with how well they sell. The one who sells it the best is going to earn more money than the one who has the best. That concept of build a better mousetrap, the world be the path to your door, has never been true. Doesn't matter who has the best. It matters the one who can sell it the best. And I'm going to prove my point. Y'all with me so far? Yes? Thumbs up? Cool. Keep it moving. How many of you guys here have heard this concept of people do business with the people that they know, like, and trust? Have you heard that before? You have. How many of you believe it to be true? They do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And I'm here to tell you that it's not true. It's just not. There are a lot of people that you know and like that you've never done business with. And there's a lot of people that know and like you that have never done business with you. Liking you is not enough. First off, the expression is an abbreviation of the original Greek concept. The original Greek concept was people must like you before they listen to you. They must listen to you before they can trust you. They must trust you before they can buy from you. The way we have messed it up, this no like and trust thing has been messed up today, is because we're so concerned as entrepreneurs with being liked. We're so concerned with not coming across as salesy, as if that's something bad to be, that we won't even ask for business. We don't even ask anymore. And that is hurting people in business. I'm going to prove to you, there are reasons why people will hire you. There are 7 reasons why people will hire you. Would you like to know what they are? Write these down. If you write nothing down, the 7 reasons why people historically and enthusiastically are willing to give their money. They're willing to give their time. They're willing to give their energy. Number 1 is the word time. Time. Is there any part of your services that your clients will be able to achieve, any results that they'll be able to achieve faster with your help than without your help? Is there any part of your services that will save your clients some time? Are there any results that they'll achieve faster? If there are results that they'll achieve faster with your help than without your help, you should talk about it. You should talk about how they'll achieve that result faster, because that is a beat they want to hear. That's a drum you should talk about, bang on. How they're going to get to that place faster with your help than without your help. Time. People enthusiastically give their money in an effort to buy time. Number 2 is the word money. Money. This happens in a few ways. People give their money to the person or the thing. The person or the thing that's going to help them to either save some money or earn more money or both. Does your services help your clients to either save some money, earn more money, or both? Must consider that. And if it's both, like for example, Tina Brawley.
Hi.
What is your service that you offer again, please, Tina?
Accounting and bookkeeping.
Accounting and bookkeeping. Now, does your services help your clients to either save some money, earn more money, or both?
Both.
Tell me how. I agree with you. Now tell me how.
By saving money, my business is an outsourced accountant, so they don't have to hire a full-time accountant. They can just hire me to do certain tasks. I can also do it faster than just the business owner, so therefore it saves them money.
Amazing. Yep.
Hiring. And then to help them make money, I can help explain what a financial statement is, how to set budgets, all those things, which will also increase profits, but also help them look at the long term so that they'll know how to plan for the future.
Amen. Awesome answer. And that's the kind of thing that you should say each time that you're talking to a potential client, because that is a reason for them to hire you. Has nothing to do with how much they like you. None of your clients are going to do business with anyone unless they believe doing business with that person will make their lives better off in some way. Helping them see it, letting them see how working with you will help them to either save some money, earn some money, or both. Help them see how they can achieve a result faster. These are things that you should talk about because these are things that people want to spend their money on. Number 3 are the words good feelings. Good feelings. Does your services help your clients to, one, feel better about themselves? Can you help your clients to feel better about themselves? Or can you help them to imagine other people having a higher opinion of them, or both? A man buying a financial plan for his family, he does that because he believes that's a responsible thing for him to do. And he also can imagine his wife and children understanding what he did for the family will appreciate his efforts. He gets to feel good. He gets to imagine others. The 65-year-old man buying the brand new red Corvette convertible. He imagines that when he drives this car, he's going to look cool in it. And he also believes that when you see him, you're going to also agree with him that he does look cool in that car. You know, good feelings. Sister Erin, please come off the mute for a second. Erin, please tell us again, what is it that you do for a living?
I help people with their Social Security benefits planning so they can retire with confidence. I tell them that I am their first floor of their financial retirement planning. And so I help them optimize when they claim for those benefits.
Gotcha. Got you now. So now, Erin, in your business, is there a way that you can help your clients to feel better about themselves? And can you help them to imagine other people having a higher opinion of them because they worked with you?
I can help them feel better in the sense that they'll be more confident in knowing that they've got someone who's qualified to analyze their circumstances with that decision.
Okay. And
in
how about you can help them do both, by the way.
Right, yeah. In a couple situation, there's something called survivor benefits, and I can show them how to place their timing of claiming benefits so that they optimize what they would receive in survivor benefits.
Love it. Now, Mr. Orlando Darden, you need to brace yourself because I'm going to come to you in a minute because you were one of the last people in the room and I didn't get a chance to understand what you do. So brace yourself, okay? I'm giving you right now the 7 reasons why people will hire you. Time, money, good feelings. Number 4 is solutions to a problem. Solutions to a problem. Now, when I say solutions to a problem, I'm not talking about all the ethereal and all the sideline problems that you solve. I'm talking about the big, obvious problem that's solved by you and your services. The big, obvious. D. Bowden, can you talk right now?
Absolutely. I'm getting ready to come on camera as well.
Okay, good. There she is. Now,
Hello,
D,
everybody.
what is hello? What is the
Hello.
big and obvious problem that's solved by you and your services?
The big and obvious problem that's solved by my services is outstanding invoices, your cash flow. When your business is stuck and people owe you money, what we do is come in and talk to you about what's outstanding, why haven't you been paid, and basically, and we answer this question: what had happened was, how do you how do you collect the cash and make sure the sale is complete and the money's in the bank?
Thank you. There's a ton of other problems that's solved by her services. System problems, I can imagine. But the big and obvious problem is they have outstanding invoices, money owed to them that they have no idea when they're going to get, if ever they're going to get. Okay, so a service like hers will be helpful. Not the ethereal stuff, the big and obvious. And each of you, you want to be able to answer that question. What is the big and obvious question that is solved by me and my services? The solution to that problem. You want to paint yourself as a solution to that problem. The big and obvious problem for me is I help people to sell themselves and their services better than they ever had before so they can earn more money. The clients today don't know how to sell, or they're using an antiquated selling methodology that doesn't work. If you're trying to sell today the way you sold even 5 years ago, you're losing ground. Much less trying to sell the way you sold 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It just doesn't work that way anymore. Time, money, good feeling, solution to a problem. Number 5 is good health. Good health. Is there any way that you can imagine that you and your services will improve your client's health? Now, I know Samantha is in a different game, but I'm going to ask you, Samantha, come off. Mute, please. Come on, Samantha. Is there any way that you could no problem, no problem. Is there any way that you could imagine that you and your service, I think you said real estate, right?
Yes.
You and your services will improve your client's health?
I would assume it would be kind of related to the good feeling, because I can reduce your stress level and your aggravation
Bingo!
by making the process smooth for you.
That's where I wanted you to go. Most of you guys, if not all of you, one of the major reasons why someone would hire you is by hiring you, you will enable them to stress less or to worry less. And this is a picture that you have to paint for them. If you let me help you, you're not going to have to worry about these things anymore. If you let me help you, you need to imagine every client that you're ever going to get already has a very full plate. And on their plate, they got all the things they have to do, all the places they have to go, all the people they have to take care of. And on top of their very full plates, they got all their worries on top of that and all their stresses on top of that. I want you to see yourselves, because you guys provide services, as taking away some of their stressors, taking away some of their worries. As a bookkeeper and as an accountant, you're taking away some of the things that they worry and stress about. Does that make sense? I'm giving you guys the 7 reasons why they will say yes to you. Time, money, good feeling, solutions to a problem, good health. Number 5, that's number 5. Number 6 is children. Children. If there's any way that you can imagine that you and your services will help your clients when it comes to their children. Now, you don't have to have all 7 of these, but as many of them as you can. Does anyone have a service that they believe will help their clients when it comes to their children? Raise your hand if you do. Sister Pat Taylor, thank you. Come off of mute, please. How do you believe your services help your clients when it comes to their children?
Well, for the fact that most parents right now today don't have enough time to spend quality time with their children. They're working from home, they're working late, they start early, and we help them find more time in their day that they're still making money, but now they have time that they can go to the play, they can go to the football game, they can start later, go home earlier, and spend that quality time with their children, spouse, everything.
Love it. Love it. Great answer.
Time is more important than money to almost everybody when it comes right down to it.
It doesn't take much creativity for you can find a way, thank you, Sister Pat, that you can help your clients when it comes to their children. Freeing up their time helps them out. If you have one of those businesses where you help parents to earn more money in a certain way, let the child see mom and dad work their business. That helps them a whole lot. So let's keep it moving. And the last one of the 7 reasons is the word pets. P-E-T-S, pets. People in this country want to spend money on their pets. You don't have to have all 7, but as many of them as you have, as the better. Okay? These are the 7 reasons why people will enthusiastically give money. Note, of the 7 reasons why people will hire you, none of them had anything to do with liking you. Very often, when I talk to my clients, I'm working with my clients, I'll put them on the clock. I'll say number on the page 1 through 10. Skip a line between each number. I have 3 minutes on my clock. And I'll do this with any of you guys. Put 3 minutes on my clock. And when I say go, I want you to write down 10 great reasons why someone should work with you and your services. 10 great reasons why someone should work with you and your services. Now, for someone who didn't take this class, and when I say go, and they start writing, and I say, now I'm gonna keep talking to you while you're working because I'm attempting to distract them so they don't have time to create stories. So I'm talking to them while they're working, and I'm on the clock with them. By the time they get to 10 and we stop the clock, the 10 great reasons, very often, especially people who provide services, they'll have things on their page because I'm hardworking, because I'm passionate, because I love people, because I'm available to them, because I've got 2 degrees in this, because I'm certified in this, because I understand what they're doing. All those are great qualities to have. Those are great. I'm friendly, I'm funny, I'm easy to talk to. Those are great things to have if you're trying to make them like you. With those qualities, people will save you a seat at the cookout. They'll want to be your friend. They'll like you, respect you, and maybe even admire you and never do business with you. They cannot do business with you unless they believe it improves their life in some way. I like the fact that you're open and honest and available. I like that. But by itself, that's not enough of a reason to do business with you. Does anyone care to dispute my statement there? Disagree with it in any way? I said in the beginning of our broadcast today, there are a lot of people that like you and have never done business with you. There are a lot of people that you like. You like them as people. You respect them as people, but you've not done business with them because you don't have a reason to do business with them. Understanding the 7 reasons why people want to spend their money: time, money, good feelings, solutions to a problem, good health, children and pets. That, talk through those filters instead of I'm hard working and passionate and all you love and all that. Those things are wonderful, but they're not reasons to give you money. Has anybody found any value since we've talked already, since we began this workshop? Any value that you're willing to share with the room? Anybody? Okay, Sister Erin, I saw you come off of mute first, and I appreciate you raising your hand, Pat. What value have you found so far, Erin?
Well, I say this too, I have to confess, I'm married to a salesman now, like 40 years. So I understand the sales process, and he's helped me being on opposite sides, sales and accounting. So you can imagine our conversations, but just the fact that people do buy on emotion. I know there's been times before it's like, well, should I? But oh man, that overwhelming feeling. So I can certainly vouch for that, the emotional buy. And that's really hard for me because what I do is so logistical. It's so number based, like everybody else here.
But people use logic and logistical, listen to me clearly, to just justify their emotional decision. They use that to what they tell their neighbors as to why they did it, but it's not the reason why they did it. But I appreciate it, okay, very much. Time, money, good feelings, solutions to a problem. All right, we did that. Now, Brother Orlando, when I said I'm going to call him, he raised his hand. Come on, bring it on, bring it on. Okay, now, Mr. Orlando Darden Jr., can you please come off of mute? You ready? Orlando?
Yes, that's hi. Can you hear me?
Oh, you don't have a good connection, do you? Okay. I'm gonna okay, what is it that you do, Orlando?
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, we got a bad connection. I'm recording this.
I'm the hero to business owners. I represent the company. Can you hear me?
All right. Thank you very much. Just stay with us. Mr. George Navarro.
Yes, Brian.
Okay. Now, I have an idea of what you do. Now, watch what happens, everybody. Mr. George, everyone else that's not speaking, please mute yourself, or I'll go ahead and mute everybody. Okay. If you're not speaking, mute yourself, or I'll do it. But, George, if you were at a networking event, and it was a good networking event, and you met some cool people there that you liked, and you're having a good conversation with those cool people, George, at that networking event, if one of those cool people that you just met said to you, so George, what do you do for a living? In that scene, what would you say?
Well, I tell you, Brian, I rarely have gone for years to networking events because it again falls back to the feeling that if you're trying to sell yourself or you're trying to get to know people. For me, I mostly am the one who would ask the questions to learn about them, to get an understanding about what they do. My interest is to learn about others, about myself. You know, if somebody said, "What do I do?" I'm a tax accountant, and I help businesses deal with their tax compliance, tax resolution, and that areas. So, you know, it can be very simple for some people. It can be very complex depending on, you know, what their background is and what they do and whether there's any interest on their part.
Now, I understand that you normally don't go to networking meetings and haven't gone in a while. And I understand that you mostly want to know about them so you can get to know them. But when it boils down to you, when they ask you what you do, you're a tax accountant and you help businesses to maintain their taxes and stay in compliance. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's question one. Now I'm gonna ask you three more questions. Now these next questions, we're not at the networking event. It's just you and I talking, okay? So George, who do you believe would pay for your services?
Um, Somebody who believes that I can help them.
Okay.
Somehow, some of that conversation at some point in time, they either have an understanding that I can help them address what they're dealing with.
Okay. And those people that believe in you, that you can address it, once they decide to hire you and pay you the money that you ask for, what do you call them?
They're a client.
Clients. Awesome. And then the last question, sir. So, what business would you say that you are in?
You know, yes, there is to a degree. There's always going to be a sales part in everything that we do as sole proprietors, as owners of our own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm selling is information, and this is what I do. I provide information on specific areas in taxation, and where I focus my work in. I'm not a know-it-all. Don't do all kinds of taxes. There are specific areas that I focus on in businesses. So
Okay.
it's knowledge. It's if I'm imparting anything, and it's knowledge.
Okay. Thank you very much. You did fantastic. Give George a hand. um, Is anyone else here? Raise your hand if you also want to. Also, the people you serve are your clients. If you have clients, raise your hand, please, so I can see who has clients and wants more clients. Okay. All right. Now, this is something that you may want to write, but I'm going to make a statement before you write anything down. Hopefully, you wrote down the 7 reasons why people will spend money. Okay. But they're on a clean sheet of paper. Don't write it yet.
Brian, a quick question. What was that 7th one?
The 7th one was pets.
Pets?
Pets. Yep. Dogs, cats. Yep.
Okay.
Pets. Now, I hope you wrote down the 7 reasons why people historically and enthusiastically want to give their money. Now, on a clean sheet of paper, before you write anything, I saw all you guys that want clients. I'm going to pretend I do what my understanding is of what George Navarro does. Okay, first. Okay, I know I do not know his business like he does. He knows it 10 times greater than I do. But based upon the little bit that I just gathered, George, come off of mute again, please. And George, I want you to ask me. I'm going to pretend I do what you do. And I want you to ask me, what do I do for a living?
Brian, what do you do for a living?
You know how there are so many businesses that are completely confused and very concerned about their tax issues, about their compliance issues, and it just really, really frustrates them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, George?
I agree.
Good. Well, what I do is actually make it very easy for these organizations to stay within compliance, to stay within, keep their taxes in order. And I do it through my services so that they never have to worry about those things anymore. And that frees them up to actually work on their business instead of worry about the things that frustrates them. That's what I do. Now, George, how is my answer?
Brian, it's almost like a non-answer, what you just said, because it didn't specify anything in particular, other than, you're making a generalized statement. And that's what I'm getting when you say it that way.
But was it overall good or bad?
It's got a good feeling about it.
Right.
Yes.
It has a good feeling about it. Here's the thing. George knows what he does on a very high level. Okay. I just sold what he does. And I'm going to tell you the difference. When someone asks you, what do you do for a living in any environment, any situation, when they ask you what you do for a living, that is an opportunity for you to introduce into the conversation a problem that your services solve first, and then get them to agree on the problem. Don't write yet. I'm gonna break it down for you. And that's what I did. I said, and I introduced the problem. I said, how there are so many businesses that are struggling with their taxes and their compliance, and he understands that. So he was nodding his head to me, and normally a head nod is enough of agreement. But I went ahead and, does that make sense? You know what I mean? And he says, yes, I know what you mean. Because the moment they agree on the problem that you're solving, that is the moment that they have metaphorically taken you by the hand. And now you can take them on a journey. So I got him to agree on the problem I solved. And then I introduced myself as if I'm the solution. I said, well, what I do is I basically tried to convey that I solved that problem through my services. You only telling them that you do it is not time to tell them how. You're not supposed to tell them how up front. You tell them how later. But in the beginning, you just tell them that you do it. And then I finished it with benefits. I do all this cool stuff so that they can. Okay, you have to say one or two benefits of your services. And it takes about 30 seconds. Okay, that's all it takes. Going back to Joy, all of you guys that raise your hands with clients, if you want to make your money through clients, this is something I'm going to say, and if you agree with it, then write it down. If you're making your money through clients, I will say to you that no matter what business you're in, your real business is the capturing and keeping of a new client. If you make your money through people, your real business is securing the business. Now, this is not what you tell people, is what I want you to understand. Your real business is securing the business, not it's everything you said, yes, but your real business is getting business. Don't tell people that. I just want you to understand that. Okay? Don't tell people that. I just want you to understand that. Does that make sense? That your real business is capturing and keeping of a new client. Now, we're going to come back to that. How many people have ever heard that selling is a numbers game? This is kind of true, but mostly not true. How you doing, Mr. Hervé? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. How many people have been in industries where you've heard good counsel say things to you like, you got to make 50 phone calls a day and 75 of these and send out 50 emails a day? Have you ever heard any of those things before? And I'm going to tell you, don't do that. Okay? Those are bad numbers, and that is bad counsel. I'm going to tell you why it's bad counsel. If you have one of those managers who tell you to make 50 phone calls a day or 100 phone calls a day, first off, I promise you they're not doing that. Okay? And it doesn't matter how many calls you make. It only matters meaningful conversations. You don't need to make 50 phone calls a day. What you want to have is a meaningful conversation. Selling is a numbers game, but only the right numbers matter. How many meaningful conversations you should have. That's all that matters, not how many efforts you make like that. And you need significantly smaller numbers of meaningful conversations for this to make sense to you. And I'm going to prove my point to you. Selling is a numbers game, kinda. Let's move on. I had a wonderful experience with Mr. George Navarro, and I had him tell me what he does, and I took him through the process. First things first, I don't want any of you to ever pitch your services again. No pitching. Don't pitch. You tell your story. There are two types of people that love stories. One of them is children. We know children love stories. And the other type of person that loves stories is adults. And we know that's true because we watch movies and TV shows and we can't stand it when we don't know how a story ends. We got to know how the story ends. No pitching. If I pitch something at you, I pitch a ball at you, you're either going to swing at it or dodge it or get hit by it or catch it. Okay? And none of those are things that you want people to do with your services. No pitching. Pitching is a concept that is past. Your money is in your story. Back to that page that you were writing on where you wrote down my real business is the capturing and keeping of a new client. Did y'all write that down on the page? Yes? After you've written that, skip a line and write these words. You know how, ... You know how, ellipses. Write that down. Once you've written down, you know how, I want you to skip 3 full lines. Skip 3 full lines on your page and write the words, well, what I do is ... Well, comma, what I do is ... After you've written that, skip 3 full lines and write the words, so that they can ... So that they can ... Now, after you've written that, skip 3 more lines on your page and then write this. My money is in my story. My money is in my story. And on the very next line, write these words. Fit before fee. FIT before FEE. Everybody should not be your client. Only the right fits for you and your personality should be your client. You all have a right to your personality. You have a right to the way you want to work. You have a right to the rate of speed at which you want to work in. If they're not a good fit for you, they should not be your client. Can I get an amen from somebody? Okay. Sister Pat, a man who's accustomed to being a bully and doesn't respect women business people, and he wants to tell you how to do your work and when to do it. Is that a good potential fit for you?
Absolutely not. Will
Absolutely
not.
not.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to work with him, and you should not work with that man because he's not a good fit for you. Amen?
Amen.
Fit before fee. And your money is in your story. You said it earlier. There's 2 types of people that love stories, and we know what they are. Now, I had you leave 3 blank lines in between those 3 stanzas of your story. On this page, what you did, you just mapped out your story. That's all you did. Those 3 blank lines, I want you to put whatever notes you need to put so that this makes sense to you. But whenever anybody gives you an opportunity to answer the question of what do you do, whether it's on Zoom or in person or over the phone, they give you a chance to answer that question. I want you to recognize the question of what do you do for a living as an opportunity for you to introduce into the conversation a problem that your services solves. And I recommend you use the preface of you know how, because you know how is an invitation to agree. You know how there are so many that and get them to agree on the problem you solve, and any kind of agreement is enough. A head nod is plenty. An a yep, a yes, any kind of agreement is enough. They're agreeing on the problem you solve. That means they're metaphorically taking you by the hand, and now you can take them on a journey. Once you've introduced a problem, your problem that you introduce should sound like an easy to understand, easy to agree upon problem. My friend Kurt has a wonderful organization. You know how there are so many people that want to network the right way. They want to be able to refer others and be referred from the right community of people. And a lot of times they struggle finding the right community. You know what I mean? Right. Well, what I do is actually make it easy for them through my organization at Mazo. Right? Is that close, Kurt, to what you do? Thumbs up? Okay, thank you. 2 thumbs up. Okay, cool. The second part, The well, what I do is, you are introducing yourself as if you're the solution to the problem. Put whatever notes you need to put in those 3 blank lines so that this makes sense to you. You know how, get your agreement. Well, what I do is, now here you're only telling them that you do it. You are not telling them how you do it. You're only telling them what it is, but not how you do it. This is not the time where I meet with families or individuals and I discover their current state of finances and then I make out plans for them and we schedule something. No. This is not the time for that. You're only telling them that you do it. Well, what I do is actually make it easy for them to get there, to collect those debts. And I do it through my company services. I make it easy for them to collect those outstanding invoices through our services. That's all you're doing in the middle part. You want to come across as if you and your company are the solution to the problem, you're the answer to the question, and you're the aspirin to the headache. Okay? Not how, just that. And then that last part, that so that they can, put some stars in front of the word so, because the ending of your story is more important than the beginning and the middle. You can mess up the beginning and the middle and still do a good ending of your story and still win. You do all that cool stuff for what? You do all that cool stuff so that they can what? You must say out of your mouth 1 or 2 benefits of your services so that they can save some money, so that they can earn some more money, so that they can move faster, so they can be lighter, so they can not worry, so they can actually take a trip, so they can grow their money and pass on something. You have to say a benefit. If you don't say a benefit, here's the bad thing that happens. If you describe what you do, this is a challenge for a lot of people in your industries. You're really good at describing your work, and that is a challenge. If someone asks you what you do and you describe what you do, even if you describe it well and don't say a benefit to it, what's going to happen is they're going to lump you into the category of anyone who does anything close to what you do. And you're not like anyone else. There's no one with your collection of experience and know-how. No one has seen all the things you've seen. So I don't want any of you to make your clients lump you into the category of anywhere else. You keep them from doing that by saying a benefit along with what you do. Does that make sense to anybody? If I buy into Mr. Hervé Boney, if I buy into him, I can only get him from him. Okay, I can't get him from somewhere else. Okay, now Hervé, you got here a little bit late, so I'm going to do this with you. Okay, we already asked. Does anyone don't want me to ask him a question on the recording? But you're late, so I'm going to do that with you now. So come off of mute, please.
I'm
How you
here.
doing, sir?
Doing well, Brian. Good to see you, brother.
Good. Now, you took notes about how to shape your story. Yes?
Some. I think I missed
Some.
part of it. Yeah.
Okay, what do you the first part, the you know how,
Yes.
you're introducing a problem, getting them to agree. The second part, well, what I do is you let them know what it is you do, but not how. Make sure you mention through your company or through your services so that they can benefits of working with you, 1 or 2. You got that?
I did get those, yes.
Okay, good. Now I'm about to ask you what you do for a living, and I want you to use this formula. Now, Hervé, am I pronouncing that correctly first off?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hervé, you do not have to be smooth right now. You don't.
Okay.
And you don't even have to be good, just formal. I want to hear you say the words, you know how, then introduce a problem and get me to agree. And I'm going to be easy. I'm going to agree right away. And then I want to hear you transition me and say, well, what I do is, then introduce yourself as a solution, and then say the words so that they can, and then give me 1 or 2 benefits of working with you. Are you ready?
I think so.
Let's do it. Let's just get through it. Let's do it.
Let's
Hervé, what do you do for a living?
Okay. So you know how business owners get caught up in a whole bunch of paperwork and somehow never figure out what real important numbers are going on in their business.
Oh, man, I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Well, what I do is help them get clarity on the key numbers that allow them to improve their businesses and make more money.
Make sure you say it through your service. Well, what I do is actually help them to get clarity on their key numbers, and I do it through my coaching or through my services. And
Okay.
then, because you got to paint yourself as the solution.
Okay. So I do it through our monthly consulting service.
Okay, move on. Got it.
So that they can have all these things off of their desk, outsource it to us, and they can focus on what's most important in their business, is growing and making more money and being successful.
Good job, brother. Woo-hoo. Now, Hervé, how did that feel for you?
Actually, that felt pretty good. You know, there was a couple of bumps, but we got through it. Felt good at the end.
It felt good at the end. Now, all of you guys who've just been introduced to this story format to sell yourself and your services, Hervé did a good job. Let me tell Hervé and each of you the same thing. Count this as number one today. Count today as number one. Hervé and everyone else, it's going to take you 10 to 15 tries with 10 to 15 different people before you get it right. You might say it differently the next 9 times in a row, and that's okay because you are in a profession and there's going to be a learning curve. But somewhere between 10 and 15, someone's going to ask you what you do for a living, and you're going to say, you know how? Well, what I do is so that they can, and it's going to flow through you. It's going to be better than the other times, and you're going to know you have it right when they say the word wow. When they say wow is when you're going to know you have it right. And I'm telling you, Tina, when you hear them say wow, Tina, you're going to have to resist the temptation to giggle because Brother Brian told you they was going to say wow. That's what happens between 10 and 15. Over the next 4 or 5 people, each one of you that uses this story, watch what happens. Over the next 4 or 5 people, count today as number one, over the next 4 or 5 people that you use this story on, you're going to notice that the quality of their response to you is going to be on a higher level. They're going to start saying things like, really? Or tell me more. Oh, you know who you need to talk to? Oh my gosh, I wish I spoke to you last year. You know, they're going to start giving you that response because with this story format, they now see you as a resource and as a benefit. Okay? Does that make sense? George Navarro was right when he said, when I did it with him, he was correct. It doesn't sound like you gave very much detail there, Brian. I didn't. I offered, and he was right. I offered a problem that is common to them that my services solve. I painted myself as if I'm a solution, and I gave some benefits. This is how you kill it. This is how you answer the question of what do you do for a living? Pat, I'm appreciating you and your willingness to raise your hand so much. Learning this story format, Pat, can you see how it will be helpful to you and your business?
Absolutely. I'm writing and rewriting as I'm listening to you.
Amen. By the way, guys, champions practice before the game. Amateurs practice on their very best prospects. Message. Okay. Now, this is a challenge that attorneys, CPAs, accountants, bookkeepers, you guys have a challenge with this because they think that they can just attract all the customers they want. It is so romantic today to think that if you have good social media and if you post enough or post well enough, or if you're on the right websites, and if you, it's so tempting, if you have the best website and this, it's so tempting to think, I've got all this stuff, I don't have to ask for business at all. All my business is just going to come to me. I'm going to attract. And it's such a romantic thought to have. And I agree with attraction marketing, yes, but no matter how good you are of attracting, one thing attraction marketing won't do for you is it won't specifically ask for the business. You're going to have to do that yourself. You can attract wonderfully, and you'll have a lot of people attracted to you that never do business with you. You have to ask specifically for what you want. I like attraction marketing. I also like a concept that I call putting them on my bus. I put them on my bus, okay? The people that go on my bus is everyone that I believe has an organic understanding, at least a little bit of an organic understanding of what I do. All of you will be able to be put on my bus now because you sat through this webinar. So you have at least an idea of what Brother Brian does. So now you're on my bus. Everyone that has an organic understanding, everyone that's within my organic reach, I consider on my bus. And everybody on my bus, they move and travel when I drive the bus. And they have to listen to every announcement I make on my bus. So the people that are on my bus, they have an organic understanding. I get to touch them a lot of times. Touch them. A touch is anything on purpose that you're outreaching to your potential client. It could be an email, it could be a text message, it could be an inbox message, it could be a phone call. It could be anything that's an outreach. That's another touch. And I touch the people on my bus that have an organic understanding. I agree with attraction marketing. I also agree with putting them on your bus and touching them again. I really believe in a concept, I call it outreach ministry for selling, where you go get your money. You go get your money instead of wait for your money to come to you. Let's see who I haven't picked on in a while. Kurt Storm, I haven't picked on you. So Kurt, can you talk to me? I can't hear you. Kurt, I really want to get you on here for this part, Kurt. You're still on mute. Anyway, I was hoping I'd get Kurt. Kurt? Anyway, let me stop for a second. Well, I couldn't get Kurt. If he could come on, he comes on. The reason why I was picking on Kurt right now is I know Kurt played competitive baseball. He was on baseball teams, okay? And if you're a college coach and you want to get players on your team, how would you get them? How would you get them? If you're a college coach and you want to get players on your baseball team, on your basketball team, on your football team, how would you get players to come and play for your school? How would you do it?
You'd go visit their schools and watch them play.
Yes, you'd go visit their schools and watch them play. What else could you do, D? How would you get them to come play for your school?
You'd have to tell them, I imagine you have to tell them the benefit of coming to the school. You have to sell them something. You have to sell them on why they want to come play for your school.
That's right. And all that process of going and visiting them, watching them play, letting them know the benefits of your school, that whole process is called recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
Recruiting. You recruit the players that you want. I teach my clients how to recruit their new clients, where you pick the clients you want, and irrespective of whether they picked you or not, you picking them first, and then you get them to agree to come on your team and buy your services. And I'll teach you guys that in our curriculum. That's what I teach, okay? I'm keeping it moving. All right. You got to track your touches. Today, you cannot do business well. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want to make your money through clients, you've got to do it. And I know some of you guys hate what I'm about to say. You've got to use some sort of a CRM, some sort of a client retention management system, some kind of way to track your clients. You need to know when is the last time they had an email from you or a text from you, how many times you talked to them. These are not suggestions right here. If you don't have some sort of a CRM system that you're comfortable using, hear me now, money that should be yours will slip through your fingers every month. Every month that you don't have some sort of a system, money that should have been yours, you're missing out on and losing. Yes, I said that. You have to have some way of tracking your touches. And touches are all that matters. Y'all with me? Okay. Let me give you guys some magical numbers that you need to know. The first magical number that you need to be aware of is the number 0. Most entrepreneurs today never ask for business at all. They just never do. They'll tell, well, I do this, this, and this. I'm an accountant this way, and I do all this work, but they never specifically ask for business. They spend a great deal of their time describing what they do, telling about what they do, trying to be their friends, but never ask the person to hire them, give their services a try. Not you guys. I want you to start asking for business. And this is the way I want you to ask for business. I want you to ask people, once you believe they understand what you do, ask them, would they give your services a try? Will you give us a try? Will you give my services a try? Will you give us a try is such a non-threatening way to ask for business. Will you give us a try? Asking specifically what you want. Most entrepreneurs today never ask for business, and what they do is they hope. They describe it, they present, and then they hope someone will say, you know what, your presentation was so good, your website's so good, can I hire you? And that's what's called low probability selling. But not you guys. You guys signed up for Brother Brian's workshop. Y'all showed up and sat through. So y'all gonna be better than those other people.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Okay.
I finally got it working.
Yes, I heard you. But thank you. The next number I want you to be aware of is the number 1 till 2. Entrepreneurs that do have some sales training, they will ask for the business, but only once or twice and then never again. That's between 0 and 2, the vast majority of entrepreneurs actually ask for business. How many of you guys ever get leads or messages in your inbox about how to get you more leads? We can get you more leads. We can get you more leads. And anybody ever get that? Or maybe it's just me.
No,
Okay, I get them all the time. More leads, more leads, more leads. Let me tell you something. You don't need more leads. You need to do better with the leads you already have. You need to do more with the leads you already have. You don't need more leads. Okay? What happens is if someone gives you 50 or 100 leads this month, and what happens is it trains you to look for laydowns and to become weak at selling. You want to buy my stuff? No, click. You want to buy my stuff? No, click. You want to buy my stuff? No, click. Keep going until you find one that says maybe or yes, okay? And then what happens is you go through that and you don't finish them in 1 month, but next month you got another supply of another 50 or 100 leads. And then you're just burning through leads fast as you can, but not nurturing anything. Not nurturing anything, okay? It makes you weaker. If I gave you 40 leads and that's all you're going to get for the month, 40, you'll nurture them all. The next number I want you to be aware of is number 5. This is a number I heard many, many years ago, that the average sale in the United States happens after the 5th attempt. Now, depending upon who you ask, some people say it happens after the 7th attempt. Some people say it happens after the 8th attempt. Doesn't matter. The number I heard was 5, and that's what I go with. The average sale happens after the 5th attempt. But you can't do 5 attempts in one sitting. Okay? It happens over time. The average entrepreneur never asks more than twice. Only the champions will ask for the business the requisite number of the times. Only champions will follow up the requisite 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times over times until they buy or die. The next number I want you to be aware of is the number 4. I mentioned earlier, meaningful conversations is a stat you should worry about, not how many calls you make. The magic number 4 is a magical number in selling. If you can have 4 meaningful conversations a day in your business, you cannot fail in selling your services. 4 meaningful conversations. A meaningful conversation where you're actually talking to someone, either on the phone or Zoom or text or whatever. You're communicating with someone who understands what you do, and there's a prospect of them doing business with you. That meaningful conversation can last 1 minute, it can last an hour. It doesn't matter how long the conversation is. It matters that you had the meaningful conversations. 4 meaningful conversations a day, you cannot fail, and you will never look back on your business again. However, it takes some skill to get to 4 meaningful conversations a day. I want all of you, my entrepreneurial friends, to put yourself on a 5-day work week, Monday through Friday. Anything you do on the weekends is bonus. Okay, but actually work is building your business. I'm encouraging you to do it Monday through Friday. And you're going for 4 meaningful conversations a day. If you have 4 meaningful conversations a day and you work 5 days a week, that's 20 a week, that's 80 a month, that's 160 in two months. You can't fail. It takes skill to get to 4 meaningful conversations a day. First, you have to do is 1 meaningful conversation a day. Now, if you have no skill, you can still have 1 meaningful conversation a day by just hustle stat. Starting now, all of you, make sure you have at least 1 meaningful conversation a workday with someone who could potentially become your client. And you have lots of reasons to talk to them. You can talk to them about what you do, what they do, what their current challenges are, trends you notice, different promotions you notice, timing of issues, whatever. Give them another chance to say yes if they said no in the past. But you have lots of reasons to talk to people. First, you have to learn how to have one meaningful conversation a day. Then you got to learn how to have two. One before lunch, one after lunch. Then three, one before lunch, two after lunch. Okay, and then four, two before lunch, two after lunch, one before lunch, three after lunch. If you do that right there, you cannot fail in selling your services. I defy you to challenge that number of 4 a day. And the last number that I consider a magical number is a challenge number. This is a challenge number. How long would it take for you to tell your story? Your you know how? Well, what I do is so that they can. How long would it take you to tell your story to 100 new people? 100 new people. How long would it take you? Can you do it in 3 months, 90 days? Can you do it in 4 months, 120 days? Can you do it in 6 months, 180 days? Can you do it in 2 months, 60 days? How long would it take for you, if you wanted to tell your story to 100 new people? Someone give me a number. How long they think they would take to tell their story to 100 new people? Somebody give me a number, how long they think it would take. Anybody?
Can I ask you a question about that before the number?
Yes.
So here's the question: Can our story be done via video? Like, can we take what you just said and create a video?
I think you should take what I just said and create a video, and I think you should send it out, email, and all that stuff. But no, not for this game. This is a direct communication.
Oh no, I got that. That was my question. So that was the first question. I think 100 people. I'm gonna say 2 months.
60 days. Good. Anybody else have a number?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Who said that?
I did.
Who's I did?
Me, Kurt.
Kurt. Okay. Okay. 6 weeks. Okay. He said he could do it in 6 weeks. Tell 100 new people. Anyone else have a number? Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I have a question, if I may. When you say this, do you have to ask them on a daily basis, or can you dedicate 1 day or maybe 2 half days to do all those connections?
That's a lot of connections in 1 day or 2 days.
No, I mean, not the 100, but like if you do 4 day, or could you do, instead of 20 a week, could you do split up into 2 days instead of every
Sure,
day?
it's completely up to you.
Okay.
I'm encouraging you to put yourself on a 5-day work week and do 1 a day, because I want you to work in the system. Okay? Systems are more profitable to you than skills. Okay? At one time, skills mattered more, the ability to close a sale. But I don't think that's the case now. I think systems matter more. Okay?
Okay.
Let's say, for example, you said you could do this in 3 months. Tell 100 new people your story. Here's how you do it. First off, you have to, all of you, your new job, one of your new jobs starting today is become very curious about other people. Become more curious about other people, to the degree that the more people you start asking, what do you do? Asking, the more people you ask about and what they like about what they do, the more opportunities you'll have to tell your story. If you stand on the table and say, look at me, look at me, look at me, you're not very interesting. But if you get on purpose more curious and more interested in other people, you become more interesting. And it has to be done sincerely, because everybody's bullcrap meter is set on high. Okay? So, yes, who's calling out? Yes, Kurt.
Hey, do you mind if I ask one question of 3
Yes,
people?
yes, please.
These 3, Aaron, Pat, and Sam, Shannon, a couple others jumped off of people I invited here today. And I have a question for them, if you don't mind me asking that.
You jumped off?
The others one had jumped off. They had to leave the meeting.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. But Aaron, Pat, Sam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel what Brian's presenting matches up with what we're talking about in Admeza? Just a quick number. So, because this is for Brian, because we're planning to bring some stuff together here, and if he's made that impact and if he hears that number, I'm confident of what it might be. But if you guys could spit out a number real quick for Brian, I'm curious.
I appreciate everything that we've had through Admezo. This by far has been the most valuable session for me thus far.
And it's about to get gooder.
Directed at realtors.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's about to get gooder. Anybody else having a number or a thought? Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Yes, Miss Pat.
It's like hand in glove what you're doing.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
so it's fitting together. It's like puzzle pieces coming together and giving me a picture of my future. And it's
Wonderful.
brighter.
And I told you, everybody on here will be able to sell themselves and their services better by the time I finish than you were before I started. Okay. And I mean to keep that promise too. Thank you very much. I want to move on in respect to time. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate the question, Kurt. Back on this here. If you decide to take up this challenge of 100, it doesn't matter how long it takes you, whether it takes you 60 days, 100 days, 2 weeks, 6 weeks. If you will stick to this and tell your story to 100 new people, here's what's going to happen in your life. By the time you tell your story to 25 new people, you're going to start liking what you do more. You might like what you do now, but just by telling your story to 25 people, you're going to like what you do even more. You're going to start, I like this. By the time you tell it to 35 people, just 35 new people, you like BrianKMcNeill more for suggesting that you do this. At 35, you'll start finding yourself liking me more for telling you about this. Your income has changed. You're finding that you're enjoying your work more. You like him for suggesting that you do this. By the time you tell your story to 45 people, you start to feel like, and you're correct in this feeling, that you're one of the very best people in your industry at what you do, with no more skill than just the resolve to tell your story to 100 new people. At 45, you already realize you're one of the best people in the city. You're one of the best people in this country at what you do. By the time you tell your story to 65 people, this seems to be the line of demarcation. I call it the fat old butt syndrome. Okay? That's what I call it, the fat old butt syndrome. Because by the time you tell your story to 65 new people within 2 to 3 months, just telling your story to them, no more skill, just telling the story to them, you would have made significant money just by telling your story. And now at number 65, I don't have to track this anymore. I don't have to report to Brian anymore. I don't have to tell him how many people, because now I'm smart. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to track it anymore. That's what happens around 65 for most people. They're not disciplined to stay in the game until the end. I promise you, if you'll stay in the game to make it to 100, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about business again. Your whole life changed. Even if you were horrible at selling, the momentum created by telling your story to 100 new people will be imposing. It'll force you to make money. Does anyone here disagree with my numbers or willing to challenge me about this number? I promise you, I've seen it happen again and again and again. Okay?
Brian?
Yes.
A couple of questions on that.
Yes, George.
When you make the connection, is the connection between meaningful conversation and telling a story one and the same?
It very well could be. What a great question. It very well could be. Okay. However, the meaningful conversations don't have to be new people. This game of 100 is telling your story to someone new that you've not yet told your story to. Starting now, count it at 0. They haven't heard your story before. So you're getting curious about other people, and you're creating opportunities where you ask them about them, and you're getting an opportunity to tell your story to someone new.
How is that different from a meaningful conversation?
Well, it's not different from a meaningful conversation, but for the number of 100, I want to be someone new. You can have a meaningful conversation with someone that you presented to many times before, or you know already, or they haven't said yes to you. You can still have meaningful conversations with them. That's true. That's a meaningful conversation. But with this game here of 100, I want to be someone that has not yet heard George Navarro's story. That makes sense?
It does. How long is I think we all have limited time during the day. How long do you think a meaningful conversation or telling stories should last?
Your meaningful conversation can last 1 minute. But your story takes 30 seconds. Okay. The meaningful conversation can take 1 minute. I believe that you can sell any service, any intangible services in 4 minutes or less. Okay. I believe, yes, yours too. I believe you can sell your services completely in 4 minutes or less.
You can
because
have a
services,
meaningful
wait a second,
conversation in 4 minutes.
services have to be, a meaningful conversation don't have to be 4 minutes. It could be 1 minute, as long as they understand what you do. But I'm saying this to you, services must be sold through the story, through your story, okay? That's how you sell it. The people that you've helped in the past, telling those stories. I'd love to talk to you some more, George.
No, it's just a challenge, thinking about 1 minute or having a meaningful conversation. I've never had a meaningful conversation.
I don't want
that
you
went
hung
on
up on the
2 or 3
time.
minutes.
I really don't want you hung up on how long the conversation or how long the meaningful conversation should last. Because it doesn't matter how long it should last. It could be 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 2 minutes. It doesn't matter. The point is that you're directly talking with someone who could potentially be your client. That's the greater point. For a large part of my adult life, I thought I was going to be a professional speaker. And I met George when I thought I was just going to be a professional speaker back in 2000. This had to be 13 or 14, something like that. And George heard me give a talk at his particular Toastmasters club. And you wrote me a wonderful testimonial about me as a speaker. And I still use your testimonial, George. All right. Where's my ladies? Okay. How about you, Samantha? Samantha, are you married?
I am.
Okay, but you can remember back when you weren't married, right?
I do.
Okay, good. All right, Samantha, I want you to role play this with me and handle it the way you would normally handle it, okay?
Okay.
Imagine you're at a bar, a restaurant style bar,
Okay.
and you don't know me, and I roll up on you, okay? Now just role play this with me the way you would normally handle it, okay?
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. My name is BrianKMcNeill. Please, what's your name?
I'm Sam James.
Sam James. Sam James, I think you are lovely. Let's get married.
I just met you, sir.
I understand, but let's get married anyway.
I just met you, sir.
Now, is there any possibility, no matter how smooth I was, that Sam James would have said, sure, yes, let's get married? Is there any possibility of that, Sam?
No. Mm-mm.
No way. Right. Why not? Because it would be ridiculous for her to say yes. She don't know me like that. She don't know if I'm good or bad. She don't know if I have any redeeming qualities. She don't even know if she likes me enough to say yes. That would be ridiculous, right? So many entrepreneurs who don't understand selling treat it just like that. I told them what I do. They didn't buy from me. That's the end of the game. Write this down if you're writing stuff down. Selling is a process, not an event. Selling is a process. It's not an event. And the most important part of the process is the salesperson. The person, you have to be the type of person that deserves the business. You have to earn all of your dollars. Life is not a gift shop. Yes, you too. You have to earn all of your dollars. None of them are given to you. Does that make sense? It's a process. It's not an event. It's ridiculous for your clients to do business with you the moment they meet you like that. They have to learn some stuff. And you got to start respecting the process. You have to find a way to lower the client's risk. You have to find a way to lower their risk in working with you. And there are lots of ways that you can lower their risk. Okay? By the way, thank you for playing with me, Miss Sam James. Okay? You have to lower the client's risk in working with you. I believe in a system called the CASH system, the CASH system. This is an acronym. For those of you who sell services, those of you who want to accumulate clients, you want to use a CASH system. Anybody here ever heard of the CASH system before? Raise your hand if you have. And it doesn't matter, I'm going to teach it anyway. This is an acronym. The C stands for complementary or low cost. Complementary or low cost. Is there any part of your services that you're willing to do that the clients will perceive value in, that you're willing to do for free or for low cost. For me, I'm willing to do a phone consultation. It takes me 15 to 30 minutes. All I got to do is schedule it. And I'm willing to teach them how to tell their story and hear what their current situations are. And it takes me 15 to 30 minutes. I'm willing to do that for free. That gives me an opportunity to hear them out. That gives me an opportunity to paint myself as a solution. That gives me an opportunity to give some value. Sometimes your compliment, your C could be a report that you put together. It could be an ebook that you put together. It could be a webinar that you put together that you're willing to do for free or low cost. You must find a way to give value that they perceive as value that you're willing to do for free and for low cost. One of the great speakers, a millionaire speaker I know named Victor Antonio, you go to his website, he's giving away everything for free. I mean, his books are for free. His workshops are for free. And you think, how can you give away all of this stuff and make money? And he still gets booked and makes more than $1 million a year as a speaker. Okay, you gotta have something that's complementary. If you don't have something, develop it. Talk to somebody. Talk to me. You can talk to a sales coach. I happen to know of an amazing sales coach. This guy, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He's read all the books. He has perspective. He got years in the business. Not only that, he's interesting to talk to. He's good looking and he's fun and funny. If you want to meet him, let me know. I'll introduce you to him. His name is Brian. He even got the same name as me. Okay. The C is for complimentary. The A in your cash system stands for affordable. Something affordable. Something that you can offer them where they receive value, but doesn't cost them an arm and a leg. Okay? If you make your money through clients, it could be, for me, my affordable is a consultation, a selling your services consultation. I mean, not a consultation, a one-on-one workshop, a one-on-one. Okay? It's called 10 to Win. Okay, but basically, it's a chance for me to give a lot of value, but also taste testing the potential client, okay, and giving them a chance to taste test me. I don't want to work with just anybody, okay? I only want to work with the right fits for me, and I really want you guys to adopt the concept of fit before fee. You get to pick your clients. If you don't think it's a good fit, don't work with them. Only work with the ones that you believe are a good fit for you, and everybody's not a good fit for you. I really hope you all buy into that philosophy. This will save you a lot of headache. The worst problems you're going to have is working with people that's not a good fit for you, okay? And they're horror stories when they're not good fits for you. Brian, I don't like how you talk to me. Brian, I don't know. God, why do I let this person be my client? Oh. It's a problem. Don't do it, okay? Something affordable. It could be something brief. It could be something that you're willing to do that you charge them for, but not high. Then your S in your cash system is something that you offer that your clients can do either self-paced, self-directed, or group. Like group training programs you have or group programs you have. I know Samantha does real estate. There's a guy named Tom Hopkins who once sold 365 homes in one calendar year. He averaged a new home sale a day. Okay, he averaged a home sale a day. That's amazing, right? How could you sell one home a day? What Tom did was on Saturday mornings, he gave a free class called How to Buy a Home. He gave free classes on how to buy a home and mistakes new home buyers makes. And it was a free class. I think he did it at a public library. People showed up and took his class, and everyone who took his class on how to buy homes, when they got ready to buy a home, guess who they went to? They went to him. They were all his new prospects by him giving a class. Okay, all of you guys that are thought leaders that have some information, you can teach some stuff. You can determine what it is that you want to teach. You can give a free class. I see my sister Dee Bowden nodding their head. I promise you, most people have no idea how to collect money, and they don't want to. Okay, it's been and it's not going to sound pretty either. In my history, if I have to put my clients on terms, where they pay me on terms instead of paying the whole thing, and I like putting them on terms, but every now and then, don't happen that often, but every now and then someone decides they don't want to make all their payments. They don't want to make all the installments. And normally I just let them go because I don't want to be in the chasing money game. Okay, now if I had a great working relationship with you, I don't want to chase the money. Maybe you could go chase it for me. Because I don't want to be in that business. Okay? So cool. And the H stands for high end. Those are the ones that you want, the high end clients. However, high end clients, those are people that buy your signature programs, your signature programs. All of you that are thought leaders that want to make your money through clients, you need at least 3 plans to work with you. One of them is your signature plan. That's the one you want. And then you also need something that's less expensive, maybe your service plan or a good plan or something like that. And you need something that's more expensive, where they get more of your time, your high end. But your signature one is the one you're going for. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions? We're not going to be going. Yes?
I have a question. So I was just jotting down my notes. So I heard high-end clients buy signature program. So I heard you talk about signature program service plan. So you have 3 plans. So what's the low?
The signature one is the one that you want them, that you believe they get the greatest value in, that you earn the kind of money that you want, but it's not crazy expensive. Okay.
So the signature program is not the crazy expensive one. Okay. Because the reason I'm asking this question, because I've been hearing all the time that your signature program is the most expensive one. So I'm like, wait.
No,
what?
it's not. It's the next to most expensive one. The high end, the one, the excellent, the superb, whatever you want to call it. There has to be something more expensive than the signature program.
All right. So for example, in my case, if I use your model, if I do this, so like my high end would be like a VIP day where a client hires me to come in for the day, and I'm like working with their team or working like they get me for a full day. Is that what you mean? Something like that?
That's going to cost them what? 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's high end. That's how much that's going to cost for a whole day. And then there'll be some other stuff they can get going on, like to support what they did for that day. Okay. Your signature program is what you want to offer. By the way, those of you who make your money with clients, individual clients are the easiest thing to gather. Okay. Clients keep the lights on. You can always get people. You can always get clients. With just clients, you're going to make 6, 8, 10 grand a month just by having clients. Clients keeps the machine going. Okay. And if you don't believe that to be true yet, let me help you. You can always get clients. You start making 20 grand, 25 grand a month, more than that, when you have your systems right, when you get your systems together. Okay. That's your cash system. By the way, if people pay you any money, once they pay you any money, whether it's for a $20 book or a $49 program, once they pay you any money, it gets easier for them to pay you again. This cash system gets you profitable and keeps you profitable. It keeps running people through your system. They're buying the less expensive stuff, then the more moderate stuff, then the expensive stuff, and it just keeps it going around. Does anyone here believe the cash system will be helpful to them in their business? Sister Hervé, why do you believe it will be helpful to you? Come on.
Sorry, couldn't get off of mute.
I understand.
So, because you're getting down into some key methods for bringing in clients, methods for explaining value very quickly.
And that's the point.
We're all in business. Yeah. So that's why I believe that.
I wanted to offer you guys things that I believe are immediately actionable today. Things that you can implement right away. Okay. You don't need no ramp up time to implement a cash system or to start introducing yourself to folks. And I'm hoping I'm accomplishing my goal. Okay. I'm about done here. All right. This is going to sound corny to some of you guys. I'm probably the oldest person in the room right now. Okay. I still believe you have to work towards goals and targets. Okay. I know there's some new school thinking. We don't need goals. We just get our grind on because that's what we do. Okay. I still believe you got to have a target. Yeah, I might have heard the thing about Howard Hill, who was an amazing archer. Howard Hill could take an arrow and from 50 feet go dead bullseye, and you can take another arrow and split that one, split that other arrow. But me, because I'm such an amazing coach, I can help you hit the bullseye with a bow and arrow greater than Howard Hill could on his best day, and I can teach you how to do that within minutes if we blindfolded Howard Hill and spun him around enough times where you have no idea where the target is. Now that's silly, right? How can anybody hit a target that they can't see? I have no idea where it is. That is very silly. Just like you, how can you hit a target that you can't see and have no idea where it is? You must have a few basic targets all the time. The targets that you need to set, how many times am I going to offer my services this week and this month? How many times am I going to give somebody a chance to say yes? How much money do I want to make this month? The money one, I would rather you set a money goal, but don't set a goal as to how you're going to get the money, because money can come to you in surprising ways. Like if you want to make 20 grand this month or 10 grand this month, that's your target. But don't say, I want to make 10 grand this month by bringing in this many clients and making this many speaking engagements. Just set the money target. And how many aggregate new clients you want to bring in a month. 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever it is. But setting these targets, you got to have something that your subconscious mind can move you towards. Amen? Amen. All right. So now I do want you guys that are willing to kind of like overall value. I heard Sister Sam say this has been valuable to her so far. But anybody else that want to come on, we're about wrapping up here. I know some people got to leave, and I want to go give me something to eat. Overall, Sister Pat Taylor, what value have you found?
Amazingly, I knew all this, but I wasn't doing all this. And so you gave me a better roadmap to do it and do it consistently. So that is awesome.
You said some interesting things there. A lot of things we know, but we cannot, it's very, very difficult to be completely accountable just to yourself. Okay? These things have to be taught and retaught and retaught. For those of you guys who work for companies with good sales managers, for example, and a good sales manager who cares about people, after a while, the people hear him less. I could come in as a sales speaker and a sales trainer. I could say almost the exact same thing he said, and the people will leave the room flying as if it's the first time they ever heard of it. It ain't the first time they ever heard it. It's just a different voice, okay? But that's all that is. All right. Now, I told everybody when we first started here today that all of you will be better at selling by the time we're done than you were before we started. And did I keep my promise? Was I right in that? Yes, I knew I would be. I'm announcing to you guys something that I put together. I'm a sales confidence coach, and I normally have a curriculum. I normally keep clients 3 to 6 months. I don't keep them for a year. I keep my clients 3 to 6 months. And that's it, because that's about all they can stand to me, and that's all I can stand to them. Okay? However, I put together this curriculum called the Sales Confidence Course. These are for the people who don't have 3 to 6 months to figure it out. These are for the people who need new clients now. These are for the people who, if they don't get new clients now, they ain't going to be in business 3 to 6 months. They need clients right now. So I put together this 5-week, 5-session curriculum, and the promise is 3 to 5 new paying clients within a 5-week period. I've done it 3 times before, and everyone achieves these goals, and this comes with high accountability. That means not only do you take your class on a Monday or a Wednesday, but you're talking to me every day. That means you're accountable to me. Either you're messaging me or emailing me, or I'm calling or messaging or emailing you. And I ensure that everyone gets 3 to 5 new clients over a 5-week period using my system. Now, what would it mean to you in your life if you quickly gain 3 to 5 new clients? You know what that would mean to you. You know how much money that would mean to you. You know all those things. But that's what the Sales Confidence Course is designed for. Would anybody like to know how much I charge for the Sales Confidence Course? Raise your hand if you want to know how much I charge for it. 1 person wants to know. Okay, 2 people want to know. 3 people want to know. Okay, good. This, again, is high accountability, and working with me over a 5-week period. That's it. Okay. This is also a certification program. At the end of the program, you will be Sales Confidence Course certified. Also, everyone who starts and completes the course, they get one of these trophies like this. It's a rhino head, but it'll have a plate with your name on it and the date that you completed. It'll say deboted, graduated, whatever date you graduated on, that kind of thing. And I like to show off my trophy too, because I like to get the videos from the people when they get the completion and the certification. I want you to record the video so I can post it and share it. All right. I tried very hard to keep this curriculum under $10,000. That was my goal, to keep the sales confidence course quickly under 10 grand. And I was successful in that because I charge $14.97 for the sales confidence course. That's $1,497, not $1, $14.97. None of that. It's $14.97. You guys have been wonderfully patient with me. You guys have given your time and energy and attention, and you've been willing to role play with me. I thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that my course will make a difference in your life. I do not want money to be a thing that gets in your way. So for all of the people who come here live, now everyone who registered will get the replay. A lot of people registered, but we had 10, 11 people show up. And that's fine, okay? But it's $14.97, and I believe this is a tremendous value for my services. I have, my wife and I have come up with an aggressive way to get you to do it now versus wait. Act Now and Save. I do have a class beginning next week, Wednesday. If you will go ahead and take advantage of this, we will save you $500. $500. If you feel like you're more than likely to do it anyway, just why would you pay $500 more? So I am comfortable with saving you $500. I am comfortable with offering you this full curriculum for $997. If you want to take advantage of my offer, if you want to take the sales confidence course on the next class with high accountability and let me pour into you, if you found value today and you want to get more of it, I know what happens to your life if you let me pour into you. If you want that, just text to this number. Text me your name, say I'm in, say anything. Your name and anything. Text me at 919-345-4893. You will also be my new report card. Everyone that gets in my curriculums, my course, all of you are my report card. And I want you to say great things about me. I know you will. That's what I'm offering it for. That is all I came here to do. I do want all of you in the class, if anyone here wants to. This is a good time for everybody to unmute, say hello to each other, and let's talk about the experience we've all shared together. Who's that? Brian? Okay. Ooh, thank you very much. Some people had to leave. All right. Does anyone already know they want to be in my next class? If you already know it. Can I see your hands if you already know it? Anybody know? Nobody? Okay. Okay. Well, I still came and did what I came to do. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask me? If not.
I got a question, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so could you just give us real quick, what's the best way to get the most out of us over those 5 weeks? How do we need to be prepared?
Yes, you want to make it fit your schedule if you can. Everyone, when we do the class either on a Monday night or Wednesday night, you all get the replay the next day. The only thing about the replay is good. It's really, really good content. You just don't get live speed Brian to talk to me. That's all. The best way to make it to go to class, I think. Okay.
I have a question. How is it that you're able to, can't say guarantee, but how is it that you're going to make sure that people actually get new clients and clients in what industries? Because
thank you for the question. In my game as a sales confidence coach, I've been coaching people for many years, and some people will be wonderfully successful and some people wouldn't with the same training, because I would teach them what to do and then leave it up to them to get it done. Okay. And some of the people, when I leave it to, and it's a frustration in the coaching game. Okay. I have a lot of coaching friends, and we all are frustrated by the same things. People pay you the money and they don't do the stuff that they hired you to teach them to do. Okay. They don't do it. And then they say it don't work. Well, did you do this and this? No, I didn't do it. The difference is the way I can guarantee it this time is I'm doing it with them. I'm not leaving the clients alone to do it. We're talking daily. We're talking daily, and I believe if I'm with you daily, and just you, if you and I work shoulder to shoulder every day in your business, is it likely you'll sell more or less? No doubt, because I'm very competitive. I believe if it can be sold, it will be sold by me right now. Okay, I think I can. So if I work shoulder to shoulder with you, you're gonna sell more. I'm not gonna let you. And I just don't believe anybody could work with me and not sell more. And that's the difference is the daily accountability. That's the major difference. Any other questions of me?
All right. So one other question, does that, when you say that, does that also include like sales? So that's the piece you talked earlier about prospecting. That's the whole thing. That's the whole process. Or
I'm not sure I understand the question yet.
Okay, because maybe I'm getting hung up on the client piece, because I imagine that if we're going to learn how to sell, we have to learn how to prospect, correct?
Oh yes, how to go get them. Yes, that does include how to go get your clients. I call it creating your own market. Okay, you create your own market. You choose them, not them choosing you. And I teach you how to do that. Yes, I teach you how to pick your clients. They don't even know you picked them until they're your clients. You're choosing them, not them choosing you. That's a great question. Anybody else? I'm ready. Okay. The next class begins Wednesday, I think it's the 6th at 7 p.m. All right. Wednesday the 6th at 7 p.m. And then after that, the next class would be like much later in October. But I do want to work with you. I do believe I can be helpful to you. Any other questions to me? If not, I'm going to call that our session. Questions?
Mr. Brian, you are.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing as always.
Great session, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you. Stop the recording.